Super light of God in heaven, writing the ologies of all things and turning all things into in-depth symbols of the healing holy light of restoring regeneration to be redeemed and released to the manipulation of bogan frustration and melded into perfect hopeful tranquility with faith in the outcome according to the benevolent healing will of the divine unifying cooperative force, peace, serenity, paradise, telekinetic throw. We meditate and concentrate, conjuring the projection of thousands of hard stones, smashing and pelting the opponent as they collapse in pain from the rock, heart, earth, magic, and conjuration. We project, conjuring a giant boulder and smashing the enemy off of their feet. Another enemy approaches as we cross our left hand of serenity across our chest, winding up. We project a disturbance of the force as a giant telekinetic charge bursts across like an ethereal blast of air and spirit, smashing our opponent with the force smashing of the disturbance, telekinetic disturbance. We gesture to the left with a gush of conjured force wind, like a dragon sweeping the opponent off of their feet. They swing up and crash to the floor, crying in prayer, receiving the conscientious light. A gang of guild members approaches as we meditate and ground ourselves in the light. We project and conjure a powerful barrier, sacred ethereal spirit, and energy imbued with a protective energy barrier enchantment. We meditate, concentrate, and ground ourselves into the planes of the force, focusing. We manifest and conjure the cracking of the earth as the earth and room start to shake and crash. We visualize and manifest the cracking of the floors as the cracking telekinetic energy crushes through the solid surface, cracking and breaking it as it all vibrates heavily. The telekinetic cracking manifests up the gang of assailants, vibrating through their bodies as their bones begin to crack and ache to the crumbling to the ground. The crumbling rocks wailing in surrender and aching pain, unable to mobile themselves and begging for redemption and a redeemed life. We jog confidently into a group of distracted gang members, armed and dangerous. As we get into close, they gain awareness and start to focus in as we burst with powerful thought, casting the force wave glyph as the force wind charges in all directions like a kinetic burst of powerful kinetic energy, like a crushing wall, a crashing wave of pacifying lightning, crushing physical energy. Blast the group hard, slamming into the wall, cracked and broken and unable to fight, repentant. I get threatened by Sith, acolyte, and apprentice rapidly without question. I blast a burst of kinetic force energy, crashing the skull and stunning the brain. The skull is cracked and the head aches. The Sith forgets his abilities and remains in a state of penitence, followed by a palm strike and a leg kick. We meditate in the lucid light, achieving states of benevolence, preaching in light about the benevolence of our allies. They are healed by the angelic will of the complementary light, restored in angelic heavenly energy. All are ascended. Entering stealth, we emanate the will to remain silent, subtle, unseen, without suspicion. Stealth in the invisible aid of the force, we resonate with an undetectable auric resonation, surrounded in a wisp of shrouding foresight. None wish to bring us into their attention, completely inconspicuous, subtle. You slightly gesture with your hand, entering into your target, into a mental maze of confusion and irrational thought. Confusion disrupted, you sneak past and subtlety unnoticed. Shackled as a Jedi, we reach into the force. It is our legacy. We burst with conjuration, lightning shocks our shackles at epic velocity as music conjures in the area, shaking the air with powerful shadow force. The lightning shatters our shackles as our hands fling forward. Lightning shocks from our bodies and strikes through the very skeleton of our enemy, frying their flesh and crumbling their crackling bones. The lightning shocks through their cracking skulls and they collapse, smoking and seared with visions of their upcoming hell. Subtle with our hood up, we enter the room cloaked with peace in our souls and light in our temples. We raise our hands, strike hard, conjuring a chain of lightning that shocks through the hoodlums of corruption as the skeleton rattles and their muscles seize, falling to the floor, unable to seize their weapons. We raise our pistols from the table, barrels toward their false crowns. With telekinesis at peak velocity, the triggers are pulled and the wretches are executed, still shocking in the power of our conjuring, leaving in peace. We enter debate as wise, insightful, empathic masters, bring in the council to the light of the peace, serene harmony, and moral logic. Everything is made well and the future looks prosperous. Paradise awaits us and the republic will shine with the will of valor and heroic holiness, insightful and wise in the peace of their empathic, holy love, compassionate. We are about to be seized by two battle droids drawing into the force. I conjure a powerful kinetic vortex at the center of the robotics, drawing in without kinetic force and subtle electrical conjurations of energy. The droid cracks and the wires are torn and shocked and fried, and turning to the other droid with a shattering force stun. The microchip is dysfunctional and shocked with stunning kinetic power. The main computer core's cracked and we conjure another powerful kinetic vortex, drawing in so magnetically that even the surface of the droid starts to crumble inward. It collapses and malfunction. We crash a powerful full blast of force disturbance, kinetic energy shaking, cracking, and discombobulating a droid as it cracks and shatters, wobbling over and collapsing dysfunction. We conjure and cast telekinetic throw, conjuring powerful stones of hardened rock, pelting the battle droids with rocks as they are crashing, indented across, crushing the surface. The targeting lenses and sharpened rocks puncture the surface, crushing and impaling in a blizzard of conjured rock. The droid malfunctions and collapses in a shock of irreparable damage, conjuring a final disturbance of force, smashing the robot back in a hard thrust kinetic movement into rubble. We stop and meditate, raising our left hand into the wise consular gesture and start a rapid healing trance, channeling the will of thought and visualization of the infinite and grand galactic force, restoring, rejuvenating, miraculously cleansing ourselves and our targets, benevolence and holy divine circuit diamond regeneration. We are charging Jedi Councilors, running, diving into a saber striking roll. Upon ascending to our feet, we cast Incendio, conjuring the burning flames against the face of the opponent, burning the face and eyes, force stun, crashing the skull with a kinetic blast and dysfunction in the brain as the skull is smashed by the kinetic force and cracks, spitting into laser sword strikes of divine justice. We cast an epic force disturbance and then a force quake. The room shakes and the legs crack under the quake and the room shakes. We turn to telekinetic wave up and heavier opponent struggling to charge, smashing the telekinetic wave, crushes through the opponent, cracking the ribs as he falls to his knees and faints to the floor like a knight. I'm threatened, I mind snap, snapping my fingers as a force arrow strikes the head of my enemy, force stunning with a telekinetic blast, crushing the skull with force. My hand is my sword as I strike with an arm slash, elbow, leg kick, and then a judo flip him to the floor incapacitated. Meditating into prayer, hands heal. Leaping into a spinning force sweeping leap, we crash to the floor, conjuring a powerful kinetic wave that sweeps everyone off of their feet around us in an 8-foot radius. I force quake a group of battle droids, conjuring enhanced gravity and crackling through the surface of the shaking environment. The telekinetic force shakes through the droids, crackling through the surface, manifesting a telekinetic vortex at the core of their physical constructs as the surface begins to bend in and implode and the sensor lenses crack and shatter inwardly, and the quaking force conjuration cracks through the arms of the robot, collapsing into rubble. An enemy starts to cast a spell, snapping my fingers, snapping their mind with a force arrow. They're interrupted, casting a calming spell and a hyper-conscientious pacifying thought. They are redeemed. Jedi Counselor.